woke up this morning, the sky was gray, another storm.
So hello everyone and welcome to Sudowrite with me, Manon. I'm a published author, teacher, coach, and Sudowrite teacher for 3 years now. So I've been with them pretty much since the start, which is great. So here again, to align with the new rules of Sudowrite and the YouTube posting requirement, we ask for you to close your video. If you want to change your image, please do so, change your name. So just in case something slip when we do the recording, it's not always easy with Zoom to get everything lined up. So we don't have any problem with YouTube if you don't want to see yourself on the video. Experience everyone, understand? Yeah, perfect. Make sure you also stay mute unless I say, please chat with me because I need answer, I need your question, and then we'll go from there. If you have question because you cannot actually speak, you don't have a microphone or something like that, pick the big word question inside the chat. I have a fantastic co-host with me. Thomas is very good into finding your question and interrupt us with them if it's necessary. Bring in your work in progress. Next step, what do we do? So earlier I asked how many of you are new to Sudowrite? We have someone which is about just a month old in Sudowrite. Do we have someone even younger, like just a couple of weeks, or we all kind of very comfortable with all the steps inside Sudowrite? You can put it in the chat. Anyone else? All right. About a year. Oh, yeah, that's good. So you know how to go about Sudowrite. Perfect. All right, what do we do for our next step? If you've been in my class before, I don't know if you saw the class I did on Elvis Presley. What I did is basically did the whole research, brought the research as an import inside Sudowrite. From there, I developed the whole story about Elvis Presley from outline to all the character and everything else. Polish it, and that book is ready for publish. I just need to make sure that the copyright or any infringement inside the book is going on. But that video is a 2-day session or 3-day session that I work with the Elvis memory, and it's on YouTube. You'll get the link also inside my Word document. From note, from chapters, and from a whole manuscript. I forgot to put manuscript here, but it's from manuscript, from chapter, and from notes, what to do next. So far, any question that you want me to answer about those 3 that I'm going to show how to import and how to work them inside Sudowrite, so you have a good idea on how to deal with your work in progress you brought in and what to do next. So any question, you can unmute and ask or put it in the chat for Thomas to let me know. I import manuscript, and how can I break out chat? Ah, there you go. Perfect question. Here's a little document that you'll be able to follow and keep it handy inside your computer, because I will update all the notes and work on that. So what's next on this thing? Memoir writing, Sudowrite feature. How are we going to do with the brainstorm first draft? Those are note from the other one, Story Bible. All right, so I'm going to get right up onto the Sudowrite itself. So where is my desktop number 1? Let's share this one here. So everyone see my desktop with the Word document. Now we're going to jump onto Sudowrite. Let me move my screen. Perfect. All right, I did a few pieces before the class because sometimes it can be long when we bring things in progress. So first, like the question inside the chat was the manuscript. How to bring a manuscript. You have a full book written, you want to bring it to Sudowrite and you want to figure it out if you did have the right genre, if you did, you want to use all the tools, if there's anything you can add chapter, fix the outline and things like that. This is one of the reasons you would bring a full manuscript in it. Honestly, manuscript also can be having chapter all over the place. It's also doable that way. So how to do importing a manuscript, you want simply go to the import. That also required for you guys to have a document or a TXT, a DOC, a docs, RTF, or ODT. Once you have your manuscript inside your computer, most people have a Word document and they get it from this. So you only click on browse and you go get your document. So you can see here, I have the King, which is my full manuscript. And this one here is my notes. So I had both of them. And all you have to do is to click on your manuscript and click open. I will not do it right now because it's already done. And once that's done, your manuscript become the King right here. I never open it. I import it, and now we're going to open it together, what that look like when you bring a manuscript in. So keep in mind, this book is written. What that do? You get your whole book in one tab. The great thing about that is the AI can go in here and find all the answer you need because it was brought in as an import. Compared to getting every chapter brought in one by one, there's less connection between the AI and your manuscript. So this way you get a lot of information and the AI is totally connected to your manuscript. So all the page of my manuscript is here. So you can see here I have 62,159 words. So it's a complete book. Now, the important thing to see when you have your manuscript, you can work from this. There's no problem with that. Or you can also go check what new or what did AI found inside my manuscript. So we go in the Story Bible. So everyone knows the Story Bible is that little Story Bible right there inside your project. Now you can go inside and says, okay, does the AI know what I brought in? So the AI knows I brought in a bio. It's a biofiction. It's historical fiction, character study, nostalgia, spirituality, and I give you all the information about what the AI or Sudowrite think that manuscript is all about. So that's giving you an idea about your manuscript if you are on the right track. Keep in mind, the AI can also be off track, but is pretty much on track. And there's a few things I probably would go and delete, decline and mortality. So don't know why you put that there. Artistic passion, definitely. It's Elvis Presley. I speak too fast. I'm still losing my voice. Sorry about that. So this is my genre. The brain dump is empty because the brain dump to me is that big import we did. The style is empty because now you have the right to go and get your style. So this style, when you bring your manuscript in, you can go in your manuscript here. And you can go get your style. I would not go in the prologue. Yeah, probably not the prologue in the first chapter. The match my style is basically 2,000 words. So I can go here and highlight 2,000 words. I'm checking slowly. I could have choose a different place to in the manuscript to get more dialogue because I don't think I have a lot of dialogue in this one. Scene 2. There's dialogue here. So it's really up to you and go and find some dialogue or a part of the manuscript that you're totally in love and says, I really like to have my voice listen this way. So we go and match my style here. So under the genre, the style, we can go under match my style right here. And we're going to pass those 2,000 words. And we're going to ask the AI to give us our style. That's a good one, Jade, yeah. So we click next, and we leave the AI work out our style for that manuscript. During is doing that, do I have any question, Thomas, to answer?
No content questions.
All right. Now I have my style here. I highlight everything and I make a copy. So I like to bring it later and put it in here to work with and read it on my own time. When it's done, I just click next. It's going to compress it into 40 words or less. So 37 words. So it basically is telling me the writing style is reflecting a nostalgia using rich vocabulary and varied sentence structure. In first-person POV, it explores memory and identity, creating intimacy through vivid imagery and a contemplative rhythm that highlight transformation and emotional resonance. So if you're happy with your style, you go ahead and you pass it in. In the same time, I'm going to go and create a blank document. So we click new, blank. And I don't want to lose the whole definition of the style that it got me. And I'm going to pass it down. So this way I can go in and see if something is not what I think my style is for my voice inside this. And here just put my voice or my style. And that's saved there. So that gives you information about what your style is with this manuscript. Then it's going to also give you a synopsis of your manuscript. So sometimes we have a hard time with that. You know, you have to bring a synopsis to your editor or someone else, or even someplace where you publish your book, they want a synopsis. Or if you have alpha, beta reader, they like to know a synopsis of your book. So this is a great synopsis because it didn't do a synopsis out of thin air. It took the manuscript and create a synopsis from the manuscript. So it didn't go and invent a new one. So which is a great thing about this part. You reread everything and you check that everything is good for you for the synopsis. Next is our character. There you go. Now you have everything. That's where you said something in my manuscript is array. I need more depth inside my character. I need more information, or it's not talking the way I want. This is where you go. From your import, you have your character here, so you can double check. I will say before you do the importation, it's good to go into another folder that you have and check your character customization, because they normally save from one project to the next. So make sure before you import your manuscript that you have everything you want on inside your character box. It kind of saves us some time. It's a little bit of interlude that we have to do sometime. So we know here that Elvis is my protagonist. We know he's a musical pioneer who bridged multiple American musical traditions while struggling with the weight of his own legend. Tall, lean, with striking feature. And that he was striking, all right. So here you have the Elvis information. His archetype, rags to rich, tragic hero, fall from grace, survivor guilt from his twin death. So is very much on the target with my character. So inside your manuscript, when you go check your character and you see something which is not working out with your manuscript and it says this is not how the character should be, go in, change it. You can do rewrite, you can write it by hand, you can use it the way you want, but make your character yours. So Elvis is fine, Gladys is a major, so that's the mama. And you go around and you do all your character for your manuscript. Any question on how to deal with your character to make them marry to your manuscript the proper way?
That is clear at this point.
Perfect. So that's what you do. And you can do all your character that way. I'm going to close them because I need to get to my word building. Word building, one magic thing from Sudowrite. You can do so much inside this. One thing that when I work with John, we do have our own cards that we do. We have our outline for all our genre. We have our persona for two of our genre, the erotica and the middle grade stories. And my French, actually, it's three different persona because I have also my French class, which I have the persona for. And some of my students actually sent me some persona that they did for me. I was very impressed. I got that this morning, so I'm looking forward to try it. But that's for another day, it's another class. So let me come back to this one. So here, your word building, you have your manuscript, you know where you wrote that story. Where is it from? Which city, planet, wherever it is. This is very important to bring or see that the AI, when it imports your information inside, that you have that. So here we know that he was in Mississippi, his birthplace of the king. So that's great. They did a lot of assembly at the church, another setting where he did a lot of singing and a lot of chatting and praying with God. Another setting, the racial segregation in American South. So Jim Crow South, the color line. So I will go and double check all these things to make sure that it concord with my story, which seems to be pretty good. I don't remember this part, but it's been a while since I opened my Elvis stuff. Sun Record, basically the organization which took care of Elvis in Memphis. RCA Victor, the Radio Corporation of the American Record also. The setting, musical industry, landscape, the golden age of the American music, part of the setting. The concept of Elvis Presley as a culture icon. It's a lore from the book because it's about his life. Not a lore, Elvis' spiritual and philosophical influence. He did influence quite a bit. Another setting, the changing social, cultural landscape in 1950 to 1970. I think everybody knows Elvis Presley in this session. So very important, go and check your word building. If anything is missing, go and generate element, find the part which is missing inside your word building. And here, I would go like the Elvis piano or Elvis guitar. Which one you play the most? You play both, right? Quite a bit. I'd like to know what you can tell me about Elvis guitar. As an example that you can simply say, in my story, there is a moon called Sarah or Sandra or something, and you want to know about it. That's where you can put it there because it's an item. You can also create another item in the world building for a place like a moon or space and things like that. So here, Elvis Presley, 1956 Gibson DG200, the King guitar Gladys gift. So he's telling us about the guitar because I remember his dad and mom gave him a guitar when he was a kid, his first guitar, which was a used guitar. So I believe that's one of those that he's talking about. So as a now you understand why it's so important to bring in your whole manuscript this way because now the AI has all the connection. What's the question, Jane? Magic one. All right. Any question for the word building that you need more information on how to connect your manuscript? We still good?
Yeah, it's clear on world building.
All right, perfect. Now we have also our outline, which the outline supposed to match everything from the manuscript. So if I was going to my manuscript, the prologue is there, the echo of the legend, the chapter 1, everything should be exactly as the title, the echo of legend, the twin soul, Presley boy. Basically, each chapter of my manuscript is here. Elvis Forever, so many we have here. 4, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hold on, I will figure out something. I'm kind of wondering if how many chapter it brought for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now, as you can see, something happened here, something in my chapter 10 and 11, both the same title. So I would have to go and check in my manuscript what happened, why did it happen this way. Sometime it may be when I did transfer everything into my Word document. So that gives you an idea to check something. That's why we got the outline, which stop at 9. Then we get the man behind the myth and the forever Elvis. So these also give you idea if something like a little glitch happened, because we have forever Elvis, and then the last one's supposed to be the letter to his daughter. So I can see right there that one of the glitch happened, and I will have to go check in my Word document to make sure of this here, if it's just a small glitch inside when I did the Word document. So that gives you some idea. That's what happened to me. It import the entire manuscript, but chapter only show the first 10 or so. Okay. So happened to you too, Jade. When I import my outline didn't complete match my chapter. Okay, so that's one thing we probably should ask Sudowrite about. What I'm going to do here, though, I'm going to go check my book on Elvis Presley. So you can see here we have the other book I want to work with. So I'm going to find my Elvis Presley. The King. So for me, I have 12 chapter, and somehow this I have not 10, but I have one of my chapters should not even be there. So here, that's not a problem from Sudowrite. It's me who had a double inside my chapter. Still have 62,226 word. And just by importing it, I found an error. And there you go. So for the one who hasn't got all the chapter, it's also something to try to figure out what happened. Go back inside your information to see if something happened. So on this one here, I could go and basically delete that one. Then go to the next chapter and fix it. So this is what happened next when you import. So you go fix, check, double check, and find those little error. Now that the fact that some of you says they didn't have all of it imported or something got cut, that's one thing I will go first. I will go check if all my chapters are inside my Word document and are they actually well defined. Because that's the other thing. Let's go get the Elvis Presley in my docs. So the King is over here. So I'm going to open my King and go and check inside your document. And this one is not as easy to go and search. I don't know where to look. I don't use Word document. I always use Page, and I use my Vellum. But I would go and check in the chapter. Let's see if I can find chapter. Anyone knows how to find chapter on this thing? Because that's something I don't use a lot. So here we have chapter 9. So this is well defined. So this should be on a page because that's what I do when I export. I want everything on one page. Then normally it's the chapters start on the right side of my book. So it's chapter 10, which should be stuck with 11. So 10 is there and then 11. So 10 is empty and 11 is there. So once you do your manuscript, make sure you have these on top, well defined, that the AI knows it's a chapter. That would be my first go if they didn't bring them all in the way it was supposed to be. And when you do that, also in Word, these, if you go inside the layout, that should be a title for a chapter. And it's well defined for the AI to get. Any question on how to go and check to make sure you have all your chapter well defined for when you bring your information in? Well,
Yes, there's a lot of confusion right now about chapters matching. So I'm trying, I think some people are talking about when you import, but some people are definitely talking about the outline feature, chapters not matching.
okay. When you import from a document. This is where the AI get everything from. So if my chapter, you see my chapter 10 here is empty, and next is chapter 11. Both have the same name. This is a title, or inside your Word document, there's a place in the design of the layout where this has a style which is called chapter. I know there's something in Word that you can say this is a chapter. It's not just normal words. So this
Header.
is, yes,
A header.
yes, Stephanie?
No,
Yeah,
you can
Header.
identify it as a header so that it'll know that it's that is actually a chapter header.
Perfect. That's
HEADER.
perfect. Thank you. Because I don't use Word, I probably should go and open inside Page because that's what I use. I use Page.
And just to be clear on the point I was trying to make in chat is it doesn't matter if you import a doc and you have all your chapters clearly defined. When you put it through Novel Import, it doesn't care. It's going to chapter it however it likes. All right.
So who said that?
What was that?
Is that your how when you import is what happened to you, Thomas, or
I've asked Michael before, and he's verified it. If anything you import, if you have it broken up by chat, it doesn't care.
yeah.
It's going to outline it the way it wants.
Exactly. So you get to tell the AI by doing those header. This is the only way that mine works perfectly. I never had my chapter beside that one there, which is 11 and 10 and 11, because 10 has nothing in it. So the AI didn't do any mistake, but my header inside my books are very well defined as headings for each chapter. And as you can see, when I go to my outline, my chapters, they match beside the 11, 10 and 11, but that was my mistake. And that's where thing goes array. Because this is chapter 10, but it doesn't write chapter 10 because it says, hey, wait a sec, there's two of them, 11 and 10 and 11 is actually, yes, it is full Jade, thanks. It's actually my mistake that I didn't go and check chapter 10. If I did my header properly, I would have chapter 10, and here I would have chapter 11, like that. Beside that, everything basically match. So let's go back in chapter with all my headings. I just saw one of them going by. So we have 9. Yes.
And then to go back to the part about using the outline feature, if you're using the outline feature to bring in an outline where you have the chapters already named, it only cares to a certain extent. Like if you would do a custom outline, it cares more. If you do a Hollywood journey or whatever, it doesn't care. So even if you're using the outline feature, bringing in your own outline, it only cares about your numbering system to a certain extent.
All right. What Thomas is saying here, it's one thing that I work a lot with. For one thing, if you bring your outline, this one was brought from the King manuscript, a finished book. Okay, this is a finished book, and I just want to go and fix things. From this, if I want to bring my entire book and continue editing, I'm not going to do anything else here. I'm not going to go and create chapter 1 and all that. In a way, I will, but here what I would do, I would go here, create my prologue. It's going to bring that up. But I will not ask to connect everything and redo my book, it's already done. What I would do though, I would go get my Elvis Presley, I would go get my prologue, I would copy all of it like this, and this is my vellum, this is where I do all my books. I would copy my whole prologue and I would bring it inside here. I will not rewrite my whole book. So now I have my character, my whole world building, I have my outline. Now I can go and use everything that I need in my laser tool, because we call them laser tool from long ago. I'm still having the same term in my mind all the time. So if I want to go and change something, now I can go, I got my chapter here. So for me, if I want to go back and work Elvis Presley, if I wrote it in something else than Sudowrite, I would do exactly the same thing. I will go and get my chapter, my prologue, then I will go get chapter, that's my book number 1. Where's my Elvis? I will go get chapter 2, or chapter 1, sorry, because I got the prologue, select all, copy. And now it's in my chapter here, type here, bring it in. Now I got everything inside Sudowrite. Everything. Now I can use the plugin, I can use the rewrite, the describe, the write. I can go in here in my write button and I can say I just want one card. No. Oh, it's going to write something, obviously. I will go and fix everything. I love Claude Sonnet 3.7, and that's pretty much what I use to write these things over here. Then here I will tell it this is basically a bio of Elvis Presley. Bio fiction of Elvis Presley. And I can give it the details I'm looking for. I can ask him more creation and things like that, but you know how to actually work with this biography of fiction. Biography fiction. Deleted. Of Elvis Presley. And you can put your POV and everything else you're looking for right here. He doesn't like to say it's a fiction for Elvis Presley because apparently it's not a fiction. So any question now that you know, this is basically how you bring in my workflow, how I bring a full book that I want to rewrite or fix or check or change POV, whatever I want to do. This is what I do. I bring everything in. I make sure the voice is fine. I got my prologue, my chapter 1, my whole world building is done. My outline match. It doesn't match, go get your original outline. Now, one thing that Thomas just mentioned about matching outline. I'm going to go in a new document. Sorry for you guys. I'm going to go out of this one to show you what to do with the outline because I don't want to delete it. These are coming up. If you have any question about that POV, omniscient, tense, past, and multiple POV, this is in beta. It's going to be out very, very soon, which means you can actually get all your outline, changing POV and all that stuff as the outline. But that's a very nice feature to work with. So that's giving you all those POV that you can change and the tense or multiple POV. It's coming up. We are testing it very, very hard. So very, very soon you'll get it too. Back to the outline. For the third one, it says the outline do not match. Let's go in this one. No, this one is already done. I need a blank one. Let's go with my manuscript, which has nothing in it. That's what we just did. Manuscript. You go in the outline. All right, our outline is empty. You have your outline and you know how to get it to match. Do not go in novel, do not go in hero, Hollywood, none of those. You have your outline, you already wrote your book, or you already have an outline because you want to have the Sudowrite to work with you on what you have. So in the workflow, you normally have your outline already done. So you go on the custom outline. Those one will not help you if you already have your book and everything else. So custom outline, and you bring your outline in this box. So that's the only way to match your outline that you have and hear about how that goes. I should have done that. So just use that. I will go back in here in my Elvis Presley the King, and I will show you how to export and then re-import an outline. So my outline over here, I say I'm happy. I know it's my outline. It's all here. I will go here and I'm going to export my Elvis Presley outline. It's going to go in my document under a CSV. Now we'll go back in my blank one. In my manuscript, we'll go inside the blank outline where there's nothing. The custom one here, right? You bring this outline here. So that outline, you're going to open it. And you have, I'm not sure if you see what I'm saying. Yes, you do. You have one of those Excel file or Word number for Mac. So you take this, you select all, copy. You're done with that. Close it. You're going to go in here and you pass it down. Maybe I didn't pass it the right way. We'll see. No, it's not the way I do it normally. I hope it's going to work. Just now we're going to do a testing here. This is the prologue and it should sit. So let's see if it's going to work. I never did it this way. Normally I have it inside a something like that. Let's get both of them in case something happened. So I have this like that. So chapter da-da-da-da. And normally that's what I take and bring it in. Let's see if it works from from this document that I just did. And you just click custom outline because I brought it in. Let's see how many chapters it's going to give us. It's supposed to give us 11 to 12 max, and it's supposed to match. Any question on bring the right outline inside your manuscript, your work in progress? We're doing good? Doing that. Any question, guys? Because I gave it a lot of information to work with when we gave it a full. Is there a limit number of chapter that will no, there's no limit. I don't see, I don't know anybody who figure out the limit inside the Sudowrite. I did put oh god. The maximum I put in there, I think, was like 35 or 36 chapter that I brought in an outline that I had and generated. So as you can see here, I import the outline that we have inside the other one as the CVS. So again, the prologue, Echo of Legend, chapter 1, the twin soul, Presley the boy, the gospel roots, the same, Memphis blues, the sun rising, Heartbreak Hotel and Heartland Hysteria, Gladys Boy, Silver Dream Golden Handcuff, 68 Comeback, Viva Las Vegas, The Men Behind the Myth, Forever Elvis. We have our 11 chapter, the same as we did before. They may have changed a little bit of words or made some little correction if there was error inside the spelling and things like that. But this is, yes, Thomas?
Jade here has a question. I'll read it to you. It
Okay.
says, what do you think about emojis in the documents? Does it slow things down or help or keep it from reading things better? Like emojis used on headers or chapter titles, or to space a scene cut, or I'm sorry, to space a scene out.
So far, I didn't have too much problem with that, Jade. But today I did upload a book on KDP and he didn't like the emoji in the back covers. So I don't know if they did some kind of update inside the Amazon for uploading books, but here I didn't see any problem with emoji or stars or space and things like that. Maybe slow things down, but so far I don't have any crash on importing an outline this way. You're welcome. All right, where was I? So this is how to bring your outline. not going through the loving heroes, story circle, and all these things. It's your outline, it's your book, it's written, bring it as a custom. All right. So this is how to do a manuscript. So I'd like to show you very quickly how to bring notes or chapter by chapter, which one you want first, because we have 20 minutes before the top of the hours. Do I bring chapter by chapter or the notes? Notes. All right, so we have one note. Okay, so we did the manuscript. Here's the notes. Notes is basically the same thing. I take my Elvis Presley. I take my research. We'll try to get both. So the notes, you do research. You have, for me, I took the research of Elvis Presley, so we stay on the same team here. And that Elvis Presley, you can have it on my YouTube, which is inside my link inside the Word document. You put everything in your notes, your character, your world building, little notes of chapter 1 supposed to be, chapter 2 is supposed to be about that. Everything about your book, location, research, past tense, all these things, everything you know. Basically, your brain dump, which is basically all your notes. And that also you put inside a Word document. Where's my, so Presley here. I'm going to open it with my page. This is my research on Elvis Presley. So those are all notes. That's not a book. This is all the notes about his childhood, his musical, his influence, his first guitar, move to Memphis, the year, everything about Elvis that I wanted to know to write the book. Okay, there's no story in here. It's just the information. So that information, that's what I used to actually wrote the Elvis Presley, the King book. So what I did is I simply took everything in a Word document and I imported inside, like the same way that I did the manuscript. Like this, the King, now I did my research. So I went to the import, I click on my research, and here's the result. You have all my research. So 9,578 words of research. Brandon is empty, but now he knows my genre. It's a biography, music, history, cultural study, American history, pop culture, memoir, nonfiction, da 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 da. So he knows that's not a story, but it's going to be one. He knows it's a biography about Elvis Presley and all the information. He's giving me from my notes. He thinks that the synopsis for the book that he thinks from the notes should be this. Elvis Presley's life story is the quintessential American dream narrative. So he's giving me a synopsis that you can go and read and says, okay, from my note, that's exactly what I want. Or if you're going totally erases, this is not what I want. If your synopsis doesn't match any of your notes, go in the rewrite, says, you got all my notes, but this is not the synopsis I'm looking for. I want to write a book for children. So here, so rewrite for children age 7. Use easy words and easy read out loud. There you go, rewrite. So I'm going from a bio to a kid's information here. Elvis Presley life story is a classic tales, dream telling about him becoming the king of rock and roll. He was born when he was 11, so they're talking about his kids. Now from this, you can go back and check how much difference from the two. So here's become this pretty much similar, a lot shorter, a lot shorter. So we have a very short book that will be condensed for children age 7 to be able to read. So just to give you an idea, I'm going to put 6, right? Elvis Presley from the year 2055 in the future, things like that. So rewrite your synopsis from your notes. And then from there is going to go and get all the information of your notes. So if you find your character, he's going to put them right here. And he did. He found all the character from Elvis Presley, marriage, the colonel, and all the musicians are here. Bill Black, Fontana. And then he's finding all the information about the notes, about Elvis Presley, all the setting and all that. So from your notes, you can bring everything in. And from there, that's where you go and expand your manuscript to a book from your notes. Any question on the notes? We're doing good? All right. Chapter by chapter. Now we get into what I do almost every day. If most of you knows, I have that series of 52 books I'm writing for middle grade. I'm on book 24. How do I do that? I'm going to show you that. So chapter by chapter, this one here, start with a blank. There's no importation in here at all. The only thing I do is when I get to write with it, I'm going to basically says the genre, the style, or things like that, depending on what I need. The book number 1, this book has been published. It's one of my first book. The first story is right here. Chapter by chapter, which basically like I did earlier with Elvis Presley, all copy. I can bring that here, like that. Now, there's another way to do that. One thing that I like about that is going to give me a new title. When you bring something in and you want a title, and as far as I know, does it cost credit to do that? Nope. So you can bring any of your chapter in and ask for a chapter and it costs nothing. So which is a great thing. Sometimes you just want a chapter title. It's a very good way to go about it. Now, the next thing that I like to do to import a chapter also work very, very well. Let's see if I can go and import from my download. So I'm going to go for something I have from others. So I would go with another story that I'm working on, story 62. It's going to import just the chapter. And this is the chapter I can go and work with. And from there, I can actually, now I maybe go a bit outside the purview of the class. One thing that I like to do is if my chapter I'm working on, it's not the way I want, something is not right. There's something in here like there's a loop in the story or a lot of repetition in the story. It says, okay, I'm losing my mind. I don't know how to rewrite it. Here's one trick that I'm going to show you very quickly. If your story is not too long, so far I put up to 5,000 words in here. So this story is 3,924. Put your story in the scene like this. It looks crazy, right? You go down here, I can delete that. And inside my extra, I'm going to say, okay, I need to rewrite that story, but keep everything make sense. So what would you just write inside the extra to fix your chapter? Yes, he does a scene break for every return, plus he's having a lot of information every conversation. So you have to be fixed, right? So all I said here is please fix my scenes. That's it. He's going to fix them. Now I can also say fix my scene for this story for children age 7 to 13. And you can also add, now that we have this, you can use this, but here on this one, we can say first person POV at present tense. And one thing that I know works very, very well, Muse doesn't work too well for me. When I do this, I always go inside Excellent. I use Excellent. I click Excellent. Now it's going to tell me shorten. It says, oh yes, please go and shorten this because I need it to be rewritten and I want everything in the right setting, in the right position. The AI is now intelligent enough to go read the story and says, wait a sec, she cannot go up the hill when she's already on top. It's going to go and fix that. So far, it works pretty good. I haven't got a lot of error or problem with that. And you just leave it work. It can take a little bit of time, but it's going to rewrite basically the scene, the original scene to write that story. And now it's done. So we have Manon nestled among her plush companion in a golden glow of her bedroom. With the decisive grin, Manon climbed into her bed, ship as a sheet fold around her like flower petals. The pillow beneath her head, Manon's head pulsed with unseen heartbeat, brushing through the cotton candy cloud, floating close to the glistening surface. I'm just reading the top because I know the story. It's already written and I know exactly because this is my story when I was a kid. Posing mid-twill, Manon breathed. Are we part of the sky now? As dawn's first ray filtered through her window, the stars are in clouds fade and Manon steer in her familiar bed ship, stretching like a cat. So it took the whole story and make it into scenes. And from there I can go because this is there now, I would go here and I would go and change it and make sure it's in first person present tense, double check all my scene and just go and click rewrite my story in a proper POV. And from the chapter that you had, you get it to rewrite a nicer, sometimes more detailed story. So from almost 4,000 words, I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up with at least 7,000 words. There we go. It's giving me a small breakdown of the word, and then it's telling me about the scene here. Do not click on the rewriting, it doesn't work. You just go and generate. Yes, Thomas?
You had a question. I don't know how easy it's going to be to answer. What's the difference between Claude 3.7 and Muse? Or the big difference, the major differences?
The Muse was done by Sudowrite. That's their model. So they model it as a fiction model. It doesn't do any other language than English. The one I'm using, the 3.7 Sonnet, is very intelligent, is really, really good at reading my instruction, and it doesn't go off rail. If I was to write something very out there and things like that, I would not use it for the trick I just showed you. I tried it many times in many different genres, and the best one with saving credit and all that stuff and frustration, I use 3.7. The excellent one, or I go inside the model and I go get the 3.7 inside the, I don't have the, I cannot click on it, but you know, when you click underneath, you can go and get the other one. I go get the new one, which are very, very intelligent. The Muse is beautiful to write stories from scratch. It's very, very good. Yeah, Thomas, the Muse more for fiction in English. Claude 3.7 better at following instruction, different language, and is very, very intelligent. And for me, I prefer to have very, very high quality over frustration. I hope that answered the question. You're welcome. So I think I pretty much went through everything I wanted to show. So now it's for you guys to tell me anything you like to know during this rewriting my story. Anything from your the way you work, or something you tried and it's not working and you're wondering why. It's time for you to ask, so I can see if I can help you to get your work in progress, your manuscript, your notes inside Sudowrite for you to be able to do it. I also showed you how to get your outline in a proper way and how to put it inside a Word document with the proper heading, which definitely I never had much problem with when my heading is well written. So any question? The class was so clear.
Chat's clear at this point.
All right, so during is doing the rewriting my story, and I will let you know how many words you're using. Let's see if I did go through all my information I wanted to show you guys. You got the notes, and I will finish the note and put down everything we did. So I have to show you a Canva share. All right, so importing and organizing research and manuscript, we did that. Editing, enhancing existing draft. I think I answered that pretty well. Most of you know how to use the write, rewrite, and the expense, but if you have questions, we can play with that too. We still have a couple of minutes. Rewrite a moment, shift tone, I just showed you that. Fan letter, that was the Elvis class. So if you go on YouTube, you can find the Elvis class I gave. It's pretty deep, a lot of information. So you can do all that with memoir, storytelling with soul. AI is creative collaborator, not a replacement. You know, you now have the tools to bring, like Elvis Presley, spirit to life. So again, open the floor for question if you have any. Then the conclusion and the key away. By the end of this class, you'll feel empowered to tackle your manuscript or your research or your notes and bring in insights to the right. I hope that gave you a fresh perspective and actionable tools for you to work with. So for me, if you have no more question, and I finished this, it's at 7,408 words. I will show you the result as soon as I finish this. I will say thank you very much for being with me tonight. I hope you learned something and you're going to be able to work on your paper. Please, at the top of the hour, you're going to receive an email. I love to read your review. Let me know how I did, what you like to see in my next classes, what you think you would like to learn from Sudowrite, and we'll make classes for you. And let's go back into the Sudowrite. Let's share back that screen. There we go. So we had 8,500 words and counting. Thank you, Thomas, for being with me. Thank you very much to Thomas. A big hand of applause for Thomas, for my co-host tonight. Thank you very, very much. So no more question in the chat at all, Thomas? You're welcome, Sheila.
Everyone's saying thank you. You did a great job.
Perfect, perfect.
No questions.
Great. You know to find me inside Discord. I'm under Fireheart. I'm under the International. So if you go under International or French, you'll be able to find me there. That's one of my big one. And under Smut and Middle Grade, you'll find a lot of my video and things like that. You too, Jade. Have a fantastic evening writing. And the story is finished at 9,276 words. So from 4,000 to 9,000, that's pretty good. Too bad that's already published. Maybe I will do a tome number 2 with a better story from years ago. Kind of fantastic when you can get these things done. So on this, I say thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful end of evening, morning, or afternoon. And we'll see you another day. Bye-bye for now.
Oh, hear the
whispers of the wind so free, through the leaves of the ancient tree, guiding hearts with a gentle plea. To the brave and bold, come follow me. With a sigh and a breeze, the wind does sing. Secrets of courage it will bring. Through the forests and the night, it leads the heroes with its light. Over hills and valleys wide, the wind will be your faithful guide. Through shadows deep where fears reside, with the wind, let your spirit glide. With a sigh and a breeze, the wind does sing. Secrets of courage it will bring. Through the forests and the night, it leads the heroes with its light. Listen close, oh valiant heart. The wind's song is where you start. In its melody you'll find your part. A path through darkness, a hero's chart. To the cave of shadows you must go, where the winds of courage always blow. With every step let your valor grow. Follow the song and light will show. With a sigh and a breeze, the wind does sing. Secrets of courage it will bring. Through the forests and the night, it leads the heroes with its light. So heed the wind's enchanting song. With its guidance you'll be strong. For in its tune you'll find where you belong.